All right, good morning, everybody. Going to go live with the show today. So those watching the recording, I'm starting a little bit early, and we'll probably just be doing some stuff until we get started. Hey, what up, Mike? We'll see if anybody shows up. Haven't been live in a long time. Been a long time. We'll see who shows up. Let me get my newsletter straight. But yeah, I kind of wanted to go live. Just a lot of stuff going on, and get some perspective, see what other people have to say about the events of the past week. I guess not even a week. It's really been like 3 days, I guess, but a lot of drama going on in the crypto sphere, and not good drama. Not drama is ever good, but really not liking all the stuff with CZ and FTX, and then FTX files for bankruptcy. Obviously, that's not good. So taking the markets down. I'm not sure what all is wrapped up in this whole FTX debacle. I also don't like the fact that we're just living under this other low. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of us just sitting down here. Now we're setting up a little bit bullish. There's a potential for us to try to bounce up out of it, but I don't know. It doesn't really feel like a great time playing hero in the markets, as it really hasn't been for the past some time. Gave this rally a shot, and it really never. It had its first kind of pop, never really got started, and then just obviously all of this happening. If you view it in context of just recent price action, obviously very calamitous events, looking like, I know, Mike, you were saying something about maybe a bottom. I don't know. I'm not sure about us going into a bottom. Too much red volume on the daily to expect a reversal. You mean back up? It's a lot of selling pressure. It's a lot of selling pressure. And then it seemed like it took out some pretty big names in the crypto space. Obviously, there's a lot more people, but I mean, Sam was supposed to be the poster child for like responsible crypto, and here he goes. I don't even know what he did 100%. Maybe we'll look into an article or something. Yeah. Oh, I'm dumb. I still have this unlisted. Uh-huh. All right, now we're public. Jeez, didn't even start it. Hey, what up, Vlad? Yeah, Mike was telling his funds are safe and my funds are safe, so I don't have anything in FTX. That's crazy. Yeah, I was saying it a minute ago. FTX was supposed to be like the next coming. In reality, you have Binance, and then you had FTX, who was supposed to be it. We were supposed to build on FTX, and supposed to have stock trading on FTX globally. Was my expectation. Hey, what's up, Matthew? Thanks for joining, bud. Um, and then yeah, not to be. Like I said, I'm not fully informed about the whole FTX thing, but we'll definitely listen. If you guys have any information, shout it out. We'll look at some articles, I'm sure, here. My estimate for the new stage of bear market. Yeah, well, it looks like we're down here. So, I mean, everyone and their mother was looking for this level to hold, the 17,695. That was the low. We were able to put many lows above it. So this low, these lows here, this low here, these lows here. We were able to hold it, and then we were hoping that we would just kind of come up and form bases and go up. But no, we didn't even get over 22,432, which was one of our levels. Crazy. What's WEF? That's that family or something? Capitulation. You got to start right away, huh? You got to start right away with the capitulation. See, I didn't even say it. You said it. See, now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm thinking about it. Thanks, I appreciate that. If you want to talk about capitulation, I mentioned the other day, I don't think this is capitulation. This volume right here. Hey, what up, Don? Half of Slack capitulated. Yeah, it seems that way. Yeah, doesn't feel like the crypto market of old. We keep in this bear cycle. We're getting hit with thing after thing after thing, And first it's just price action, and the price action led to over leveraged Luna going under, and now it's leading to, I'm sure I'm missing some events in here. Now it's leading to FTX going under. Just the bear market. How far are we down percentage wise? I haven't done this in a minute. Let's see. We are, as of the other day, down about 77% from the highs. So it seems like all these different entities, I'm not gonna call them exchanges. I mean, some of them are just other crypto projects. Looks like a lot of these are only built for like a 50% market drawdown, which I don't understand. Bitcoin historically goes down about 85%. So it's like, why are you only built for a 50% drawdown? Doesn't make any sense to me. An FTX drop? Yeah, no, I think it definitely was. An interesting thing, though, about that is the fact it didn't really drop. It didn't drop that hard. Like, I don't think we're done with the drop, but this whole thing here is 25%. What was this drop? Early on, there's 31% to the peak to trough, 44%. This one from a breakdown is 33%. So I guess it's probably in line with some of the other ones, but it's not as aggressive. We've seen a lot more aggressiveness down here. So maybe, you know, the bigger the news, the more the institutions step in and try to buy some. I don't know. But a tremendous amount of volume. So I'm on the Binance chart. Let's get off onto the index chart. Yeah, which is right here. The index chart is supposed to take in volume from everything. Loans for, yeah. Was that list even real? Someone posted a list. I'm not sure if it was on chat or I saw it on Twitter or something, but there was some, oh, I'm looking at Mike's chat. There was a list posted of like an Excel spreadsheet that someone said that Sam posted on Reddit, asking if it was a good. It's so weird. Why would Sam post something on Reddit? I guess he just wants to get people's opinions, or he's just trolling them. I'm not sure. Jeez, lots. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I went through a bunch of posts today. I've been kind of out of pocket the past couple of days, so I really haven't been that up on this whole FTX thing, but geez. That's some funny memes in Slack. Yeah, I can't find it. I'm not going to keep scrolling to find it, but all right. So we're doing a live power hour today. We'll go through the whole thing that we usually do. We go through the top 20 and all that other stuff. But I think the major thing today is obviously the FTX news and how it's going to affect. Someone mentioned in Slack about it being Lehman Brothers. I'm not sure if it's a great parallel. It kind of could be. But I think FTX is one. Jump back on. I think I just came back. Yeah, that was weird. I noticed my streaming stopped. My whole internet just flashed before my eyes. The internet just flashed before my eyes. That's funny. All right, we're back. Yay. I know everyone's excited. All right. Let me pull up my newsletter. We'll go through some stuff. I'm trying to wrap my head kind of longer term. There's a bit of a disparity, obviously, between what the stock market has been doing lately. Stock market and the currencies are following each other, which is really normal. And then you've got the crypto, which is going, now we're just going through our own events with the whole FTX thing and Alameda Research and all of this. Everyone just losing tons and tons and tons of funds, which is absolutely crazy. What's Sam worth these days anyways? I mean, if you look at FTT, which I don't think is on our top 20. Yeah, it's over here in our USD pairs. Another 20% today. This thing still has a long way to go to zero, by the way, if you're thinking a Luna trade. But I bet you it's very crowded at this point. And probably very expensive to borrow some FTT. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to come of this token. But yeah, hopefully somebody shorted that. That's a 90% drop right there. All right, so I didn't have a lot of coins to talk about today. Most of the charts got damaged. We did have some past couple of days, but with everything happening. I mean, it's always a new set of pairs, new set of coins and pairs these days, which does lead to any kind of really good trading, unless you're just gonna short FTT, which is a thing. Hey, what's up, Omar? Yeah, doing pretty good, man. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. All right, let's go down top 20 USD, and we will see what's what. But I can't imagine we're going to see anything too bullish. In fact, I know we're not. I've already been through the charts once. So, all right, let's go through with BTC. BTC underneath the big orange line. Underneath the big orange line. That is not something you want to see. My volume aggregation tool here shows you that there's not a lot of buying pressure. The sellers came in, and now they're both diminishing buying and selling pressure. You know, obviously the volume is diminishing too. So, but not bouncing back up above the orange line. We found resistance at it a couple of days ago here, and we've just been floundering about ever since. Not really a good sign. Not something that you want to see. You want to see things come back dramatically if we're going to try and undercut and rally, which is what this would be. But it's more like an undercut and just sit under. And we're not really doing too much. Yeah, in terms of downward price action, Vlad was talking about a line I had, I think, on this chart, down to that level. That's fully possible. You can take measured moves in a number of ways, which that was a measured move. So this measured move got exceeded by this whole run, and so took this run as this measured move down to the 7,000 level. Let's call it 7,000 level. There's other stuff we have from up here down to the 10,000, 12,000 level. You know, when you're down in those points, it's hard to find the exact bottom, and you just have to roll with price action. You know, sometimes the charts can lead you in a direction, they can lead you to an area, and it's very hard for them to pinpoint the lows. Although sometimes, you know, someone's going to have a chart and they're going to use something and it's going to work, and they're going to say, "Oh, I called the bottom," but you know, every broken clock is right twice a day. That type of a situation, but. I'm just reminded of you know, the 2017, you know, good analysis down on this big drop here, down to 10.5 or 11.5, and it went to 10.5, and we were live at that time, so you can watch that video 12/22, right? 12/22, yeah, 12/22/17. If you search my channel, and you can watch it in real time, you can watch it go down and bottom. That was a capitulation event. Sorry to bring that word up again, but that was a capitulation event, and you can see it bottom. So when you get down towards those levels, it's really more about the price action than the level itself. Some people will be stuck at levels and they'll have to buy there and they want to buy there, but if you're unsure, look at the price action. The price action will tell you when we're done. You know, you'll just it's such a great video to watch because it's pure price action. 12-22. Go search my YouTube channel here for it, and you'll see it. And there's timestamps. You don't got to watch a whole damn thing. I think it's like 4 or 6 hours long because I was live streaming at the time. But there's timestamps in the description, and I think I may have pinned a top comment. It's been a while since I looked at it, but check that out if you wanna. If you're thinking those levels, that's just a great little educational video. If you want to go more in depth on that, not to show anything, but I legitimately have a whole video about buying that type of an event. Not under courses, you guys don't have that. I'm not even sure if it's on the website anymore. It may not be. May not be in the website anymore, actually. That's the Power Hour. But you guys send me an email or private message me in Slack, and I'll see if I can find that, and I'll just send it to you. It's a course on capitulation. It's just a little webinar. It's like an hour and a half long or something like that. A lot of good information there about buying that type of a bottom, but it covers what we went through in that 12-22 in depth. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But yeah, that's not soon though, I don't think. I mean, it's possible. If you look at prior bottoms, we've dropped 50% in 2 days before. It's been kind of a normal. If you look at 2020, let me go full screen here. If you look at 2020 bottom here with COVID, it was 2 days of just really, really bad action. 50% in 2 days. That's this red candle and this green candle. Before that we were in a minor downtrend and the whole bottom just fell apart with COVID and all that. This wasn't the same type of behavior, but we can also look for this kind of behavior. So you can see here we didn't really drop the same, but we consolidated here for a few days. Then we had large drops, and then it was just, you can see See what the VA, yeah, see the VA tool here. This is my volume aggregation tool. Geez, my mic really hot? It just like way clipped. Am I in RTX voice? I should be. Yeah, it looks like I should be good. Okay. I'm gonna back away from the mic. Capitulation or 2018 style bottom. I know there is no answer. Yeah, but it will be either. I'm not sure of the third type. Well, the third type would generally be, it's just time. And like the 2015 bottom after capitulation. Capitulation in 2015 was marked, and then you go sideways for a year, then you curl up. And this is kind of that weird intermediate, like you said, 2018 bottom. So here's the 2018 bottom. You don't get a major event, but what you do get is just a waning of selling pressure. You get a diverging RSI, which we don't harp on that much, but when you do see it on longer term charts like this, it is of note right there for sure. You get a declining, RSI is going in the opposite direction of the prevailing trend, implying that selling pressure is weakening as it goes down. And you can see it in the volume here as well. The volume goes down as we try to go lower, implying there's less selling pressure. So we eventually rally back on through, and you see here the actual bottom proceeded, not preceded, followed by these large volume candles. So other than trying to arbitrarily buy a low here, which, I'm sure two people did, there's really actually pretty low volume down there. Two of the lowest volume candles we've seen since we started the major drop here. Obviously, these two were lower, but these were back. These were, mimicking these. But look at these really two low volume candles right here at these lows. Those are hard to buy because if you're looking at this, are you thinking reversal? So it's really hard to buy these. Your safest buy really is that cup and handle trend line, the 4,000 pop. That's your safest buy. You could make a go of it here. And in these situations, we have these trend lines. Generally, we have these trend lines, and say, okay, we got good volume behind us. We come down to the low, but we haven't undercut. We still have a higher low. Now we're going up. But these are still tricky to buy in the moment too, because it doesn't look like you've made a huge reversal. So then now you have a cup and handle, and you feel much better about things. But this takes a while to happen. By the time you start dropping till you get a real technical proper buy point's 139 days. That's like 6 months, give or take, rounding or out. So, you have to play the patient game, because what can happen, and I'm sure it's happened here a lot this year to a lot of people, is, you try to pick a bottom, you try to say, oh, this is the bottom, and then you end up getting hurt. I mean, you get hurt pretty much no matter what you do if you're looking for a longer swing, because we haven't had any major uptrends, but the fewer times that you actually try, the better. So if you're waiting for some breakouts, if you're trying to buy bottoms, you have a lot of opportunities. If you're waiting for bigger breakouts, you've got one here, you may have got one here, and this isn't a bigger breakout, but you could have tried to buy low here, in which case stop losses would have taken you out. So you're really only trying a number of times if you're kind of a longer term swing trader, and that's basically what I try to do generally. So I haven't really done a lot. I played on this one, got hurt a little bit like everybody else, but you just take your time and try to time your shots effectively, and eventually we will find a bottom again. But this bear market's been pretty long in the tooth. You're talking November of last year. It's been a year. That's November 11th. It's November 12th. So it's been a year, and we're just still making new lows. So obviously no trend change yet. We talked about this trend line breaking, but now this one can get adjusted, and that's what we have there. This is no longer a box. So, as price action goes, you essentially just end up erasing stuff that you saw in the chart, and we're kind of left. Is that on log scale? Oh, I'm on the index chart. This isn't as there you go. That's a little more correct. So you see that resistance right there, but it still has all the hallmarks of a bear market. No reversal signs as of yet. It's just been really boring. It's hard for me to make public videos when it's just going boring like this. I mean, how clickbaity am I gonna have to get? I don't know. I don't like doing that stuff. So yeah, if I see something, I'll say something. But in the meantime, we're just trying to trying to figure out where things could go in reality. And then, Dogecoin, Elon Musk, all that stuff. But anyway, so that's BTC. I mean, in reality, we're just waiting. Just think if the buy can be made. You think soon? Well, if you think soon, you're thinking definitely one of those 50% in 2-day kind of drops, which is on the table. I mean, if you look at even at 2018, if you were really patient and just had a lot of guts, because it looks a lot more like this scenario. So if you drop down and then you start to see those diverged RSIs, you could try to nibble at it. And if you nibble here and waited a couple of weeks, you can be positive. But you go down by about 10%, which isn't too bad. But you're really hodling at that point, which I mean is fine if you're comfortable at those levels, And 3K obviously is a pretty low level. That was in the range of our bottom, but where do you think the bottom is or a good buying area currently buying? By the way, just wondering your views on it. I don't have a level. I don't have a level that I think right now. We've got analysis pointing us to, the 10, 12,000 level. Some analysis down there, which would be another 30% decline, a little bit more than that actually, because we're at 17, not 15,000. But yeah, I don't have a definitive level at this stage. This has been a long, prolonged bear trend, and it's going to end when it ends. And I really don't want to forecast. All we do is analyze charts, and that's it. We analyze the charts, and we see if we're changing behavior or doing anything different to try to change this cycle. And so far, we've had a couple opportunities. We had one here. We kind of had one here recently, and obviously that didn't work out, and that's it. So we're just meandering lower. So Mike says same place in the cycle, yeah, in terms of the 2018 low. So if getting both of these on the same chart, you know what I can do one better. Let's go side by side. I'll switch this to daily, and we'll zoom in here, and we'll zoom in over on over here. Actually, let's keep secondary indicators. Okay, so if you want to view these as analogous to one another, let's see if we can. There we go. So if you want to view these kind of in the same light, yeah, we got lines here that broke. Is that the right one? Yeah, I guess it is. There we go. So we have this line that broke. We have this line that broke. We have a consolidation here. We have a consolidation here. We have increase in volume. We have increase in volume. Volume aggregation tool. So there's your increase in volume. There's your increase in volume. VA tool much more jumpy here than it was over here for some reason. It looks like this was a bottoming candle where we have two red candles. You see the two red candles here. That jumps this orange tool up. Pop, pop. Those two pluses are what are called pocket pivots. And here we don't get two pocket pivots in a row. Or do we? Why does that show that as that's not a pocket pivot? Maybe something wrong with that indicator there. But that shouldn't be a pocket pivot. Oh, no. It is a pocket pivot. Okay. No, it's a pocket pivot. It's a pocket pivot. Okay. So it's fine. It's a pocket pivot. I just forgot the rules. Yeah, so two pocket pivots. VA tool popped up here, but you have, this day here bringing the VA tool up. We don't quite have that here because we're only 4 days into this. RSI here is already well undersold. Here we still have a little bit of room to go, so that's not too bad. Omar says nearing capitulation if you compare 2017. Yeah, well this is 2017 exactly. It's just the bottom's in 2018. It's a different year. Batman says hit the like button. That's a good suggestion. Yeah, hit the like button. I don't feel like being shilly today, but go for it. Doesn't hurt. Yeah, so looking at this, we get another big drop, and I mean, what would stop us from dropping at this point? And I mean, I can't see anything that would stop us from dropping. So we go low volume. Let's look at November 17th, 2018, and let's see if that was a Saturday. I'm going to do it off screen here because it's just easier. 2018, November 17th, I think I said, right? the low volume days. Oh, yeah, 18th. 17th was a Saturday, 18th was a Sunday. So that's a Saturday, that's a Sunday. Here's a Saturday, there's a Sunday. If we're going 1 for 1, we're going to drop huge on Monday. If we're going 1 for 1, 14%. 14% was a drop on Monday. No idea what that would do in traditional markets. Doesn't really matter. But I mean, it does look very similar to the same. And we've been discussing 6K drop. This being like a 6K drop. Now this time we had a little bit more bullishness here than we did here at 6K, but it's not night and day. Yeah, we're very seasonal like this for some reason. You think advanced monkeys trade this thing? Can't get away from our own thing. So we had a little bit of more of a rally here. I don't remember. Was there news? I don't think there was anything that dropped news related in during this time frame when it dropped. I think it just dropped. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely looking like we could be coming up to a pretty big drop. This guy went sideways. Hit the low here about 140 days. This one I think's longer. No, almost the same, 144. So we're in good company. I mean, if it's gonna be apples for apples, we'll look for, maybe we'll have this same kind of diverging RSI. I mean, if you're an RSI trader, you have to really like this. I think if you trade RSIs all the time, you're dropping here like a stone, but your volume's decreasing. Like we mentioned earlier, that means that the selling is subsiding. And then you have, we had volume step in. But again, it's really hard to buy down here. You kind of have to, I don't know, not have been hurt 5 million times before by doing this. But if you got like I don't know, give yourself, again, this is probably a weekend. If you give yourself, let's say you bought the bottom, or let's say you bought the top of this area here. Give yourself a 5% stop loss, I guess, and then walk away. But if you do it here, you got hurt, right? So the question is, where do you do it? On the trend line break would be my answer. That would be my answer, is on the trend line break. This is, one of those moments where if you're going to be paying attention, you better pay some damn attention, because this is that's it right there. You can blindly buy that low, but this isn't that much higher. You're at 4.28%. If you're buying over the weekend here, yeah, you got a better stop at 2 to 3%. But if you bought the weekend before, you'd have taken that, and then you may not have bought this one because you already were shaken out once. So 10 to 12K if that leg works out. However, with the global scenario, let's see. I see a chance going below 10K. You know what, man? I mean, anything's on the table. But Bitcoin does historically do that 85%. So that puts us in that 12K range. 12K range. That's 85% right down to 10K. It's pretty, pretty rinse and repeat. If we go below that, geez, is my audio screeching from time to time? I'm not really yelling in the mic, but my audio input card. Oh, you know why? Hold on. I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit. You guys may have to turn yours up in a second, but it should stop me from screaming if it's doing that. All right, you may have to turn up a little bit. So I turn it down. That should stop me from going audio crazy. Scratch a little bit. Okay, I did turn it down by about 20%, so you guys may have to turn it up by 20%. That should get rid of it altogether. Sorry, I did that because I was having audio issues a few days ago. Cool, thanks guys. Appreciate the feedback. But yeah, so going down to 10, 12K, I mean, if you want to start buying at 12K and you want to ladder down to 10K, that's not a problem. I think, it could be a good thing to do, because we never do quite know. If you want to get it all in after we've bottomed, you can do that. But I think, as we go down like this, the whole point is just to know what you want to do. Don't be jumping on just because you see something. You know what I mean? Have it planned out ahead of time. A lot of people, and I do this from time to time too, just kind of jump on with the trend. But if we're looking at some type of a bottoming scenario, then I would definitely have some kind of a plan in play. That's about it. Yeah, all-time high from 10K. Well, it'd be basically a 7x, and it's not as good as it's been in the past in BTC, and we've discussed that it's never going to be as good as it was. It's just not going to. But if you buy these generational lows, well, I say generational, but multi-year lows really is more like it. I mean, you end up with really good returns. That's 1,300% from not even all the way at the bottom. You're never going to make that, but maybe you bought here at 5,000. That's 1,000% return. So yeah, you get a 700% return. If it goes to 7K, you're at 800%. ETH probably will give more. So yeah, let's move on to Ethereum. Going down the top 20. I'm spending a lot more time on this larger scale stuff because I think it's important. And it is important. And Bitcoin is really what we base most everything off of. It's, regardless of what FTX does, regardless of what Binance does, Bitcoin will be around. It just is. And I said that in the newsletter today. I said Bitcoin, just because it is what it is, obviously, and then Ethereum because it has utilitarian value and it is a stable network. It's gonna have some value. Obviously day by day that value changes, but it's gonna be around as a network. You look at Solana, who's having a bad day today and has been having a bad day, and looks like it's working down towards our $2.50 measured move here. You look at stuff like that, maybe that stuff won't be around, but Ethereum will be around. I wholeheartedly believe that. I do believe it's like Microsoft. You just can't get rid of it. I heard a stat the other day on some game show said, 3 out of 4 Fortune 500 companies run what software? And it was Microsoft. Like, geez, that's crazy. 3 out of 4 companies use Microsoft. That's insane. So Ethereum's going to be around. Bitcoin's going to be around. Yeah. Hey guys, hold on a second. Geez, I can't. Oh, I can't. Yeah. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry guys. Wife just got up and I had to ask her something timely thing. Do offer for a newsletter without power hour? Well, hit me up on email, Omar. We can work something out, okay? Yeah, just hit me up. Um, I'll shoot you my email here. That should go through. All right, babe. This is gonna be on the couch, okay? Thank you. Yeah, whatever. Who was it that got out of Sol at 120K? A Rom? Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah, Rom had. No, it wasn't 120K though. It was here. It was like 45. He got it at 45, I think it was. Or maybe it was one. Maybe it was this. It was one of these rallies he got out though. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Jeez. Yeah, he'd been decimated. It sucks. I don't like to think about that. That's why we talk about, exit signals and reasons why you don't hold, because now it's at $14. Oh, that'd have been bad. That'd have been real bad. Yeah, 120. Was it 120? Okay. Now he's sold like right at the top though. It may have been 140. He got, I forget what his methodology was. I don't know if it was his he does a Fibonacci style, or if it was up here, but yeah, no, you're right. I think it was up here because it was straight up then straight down. Yeah, now I'm remembering. Straight up, he's like, I sold at 140. I'm like, what? I'm like, damn, dude, that's amazing. Yeah, but and that was a break even point for him. I think he bought at 140, held through 75, then sold back. I'm like, that's some ballsy stuff, man. Yeah, no, he was definitely lucky. Because remember up here we talked about just cutting it, right? Because he bought over here. I think it was a Fibonacci pullback, and then on this bounce back, we were like, man, that's pretty close to your 120, 140, whatever it was. And then he held through that, and then luckily we came back again, and then he said he sold. I'm like, you didn't sell last time. Why want to sell this time? Then he sold. I'm like, oh man, yeah, fun stuff. Okay, we're super deep in the show. All right, let's talk about Ethereum. So Ethereum definitely worse for wear. Everything's worse for wear. Ethereum was doing pretty good. We had some alerts coming out of here. I think we had alerts, but at least at a minimum we talked about it. We may or may not have had alerts. I don't remember now. But so this trend line's gone. We can get rid of that. This was still a thing, so we'll keep it on here. That was a nice little pennant. But now we gave up all of that. Ethereum still in a downtrend. Wasn't able to overtake its prior high here, and overall still in a downtrend. So nothing really leading you into Cardano at this particular point in time. I said it a while ago. It's like we just have to go through this whole cycle thing. We just have to go through it. There's nothing you can do to shortcut the process. It's like if you want to build a house, you can't shortcut that building process. That foundation has to be built. The walls have to be built. The roof has to be built, and we're just going through it all, unfortunately. All right, we're gonna blow through these top 20 because most of them are kind of garbage. There's really nothing to do, and then we'll come back to BTC at the end. So stick around. Hex going through motions, dropped down substantially down to 2 cents before backing back up to 3 for a minute the other day. There, that was interesting. BNB. My keyboard is jacked up today. I can't type on it. BNB. Not really suffering that bad. BNB's been kind of a little bit more of a stable coin lately in reality. Definitely came down in regard to the Binance and CZ saying they were going to sell 2.5 billion worth of FTT, and then that led into the whole freaking collapse of FTX. So CZ is making some moves again. Still the man in crypto though. Fortunately, he's not a huge douchebag. So is what it is. But Binance Coin not doing too bad. Finding support at support, that's pretty good. Not too mad there, but again, we just have to go through the motions until mad gains are on the table again. XRP low, broke apart his whole channel here. Hit that measured move. We'll get rid of some of these lines, and that one's still pretty valid. But again, down in a range where you don't want to do too much with it. Dogecoin going up with completely forgot about Elon Musk and with all this stuff going on, but Dogecoin bouncing up pretty good today, up 7% for whatever reason. Volume good for a weekend, that's for sure. There's last weekend volume, I think. These two, I think, and then gonna have a pretty good volume candle today, but no trend to speak of. We undercut the flag. We had a 15048 alert, as you can see, and nothing doing on that one. Cardano really chopping through levels. Just nothing to do here. Already has a new low. You don't want to be bottom buying this until you see, lows being put in Bitcoin and some other ones maybe. Solana. This, talked about this one earlier. Is this going to survive this whole FTX thing? I know they were sponsored huge by Sam and that whole community. Are they going to be stable enough, and are they going to keep working on it to Yeah, to float it. To float it. Or is this going to go down with FTX and maybe they'll just abandon everything? But I mean, Solana's interesting. 100,000 transactions per second, I think it was. And obviously they've had network issues. But if they can nail those out, I don't know. Avalanche seems to be, which is coming up in a bit, seems to be a bit more stable. And I like the architecture of Avalanche a little bit better than Solana, but we shall see. Elon was in Twitter Spaces and said Dogecoin to the moon. That's why Doge is up. Yeah, I didn't realize he said that, but we thought it was something with Twitter. Hinted at possible integration in the future and a creation of a Twitter wallet. Well, that'd be interesting for a pop. I mean, long term, whatever. Better off to go with Litecoin, but he likes something about Doge. Yeah, no problem, Loopy. For sure, bud. Next up is Matic. And Matic. Wow, interesting action here. I didn't I blow through the charts before I do the show. I didn't see anything bullish or bearish, so I don't really harp on it. But look at this 2-hour candle that popped up. Oh, that's a daily. Oh, I'm on the daily on both. Oh, geez. Let me go back. Look at a couple of these again. All right, so there's BNB. I'm looking at daily on both of them like an idiot. XRP. Nothing in the charts here of really bad consequence. So there's a little bit of a bull flag actually, and a cup and handle here on Dogecoin. So that could be of consequence as I termed it. Maybe for a reversal up. So that's at least a little bit more bullish. Some volume stepping in here earlier today. That's not bad. You see the volume aggregation tool, the bulls pulling up. Not too bad from that perspective. And those are looking worse for wear. Looks like they're filling out bear flags. Yeah, getting back to Matic here. Yeah, so interesting flip-floppery here. The other day, yeah, I was going to say, this candle, I remember seeing that candle, but we're wearing it out here. Volume aggregation tool stayed bullish the whole time. So there's not a lot of distribution here, even though as the market is getting really wide and loose. It was getting pretty tight, popped up nicely, had an opportunity, but then the market said, yeah, go screw you. Yeah, wide and loose, exactly, Mike. Exactly. So there's definitely distribution happening. It's not investable, but holding up and holding its lows a lot better than most other Matic is one of the ones I look at all the time just to make sure it's still doing its own thing, which it appears to be doing. Matic top 10, sold out of top 10, taking out the trash. Is that legit? Is it actually in the top 10? I haven't updated my list in like I think a week and a half. I did it not too long ago. Oh yeah, it did. It joined the top 10. Look at that. So now you're going to have Ethereum and Matic, both in the Ethereum ecosystem, in the top 10. So Matic's doing something right. Even kicking out Polkadot, which still isn't doing anything. Where's Cardano? There it is, number 9. Yeah, it's right there. So our Cardano's still holding on. Hasn't lost all of its gusto yet, but it feels like it's going to. It's just what I'm thinking about it. But interesting. I mean, Matic has held up so well. It's not that it's gained value, it's that it hasn't lost its value, which is intriguing. All right, next up is DOT. As we just saw in the market cap list, DOT being overtaken by Matic. Actually, Solana too. I'll update my list after the show. Yeah, nothing too amazing down here. Not a lot of buying pressure. RSI is just kind of doing nothing. Nothing to do there. There really hasn't been a lot to do for a while now. So Tron finally giving it up. That seems more normal. Living a little bit lower here, so hopefully that's good. Well, not good, but it's Tron. Who cares? Swap. Choppy. ShibaSwap trying to follow Doge, not doing a good job though. Down 2%, while Doge is up almost 7%. AVAX. Being taken out to the woodshed. New lows for AVAX. Since it's high. Looks like a little bit more to go. Look at how stable it's been. And then boom, giving it up a little bit. Not a lot of selling pressure given the amount of buying pressure that was that stepped into AVAX, but it's going to go down with everything else. I do like AVAX as it is a network. I'm not massively into the technology side of cryptocurrency, as you guys know. I'm definitely educated in it, but I don't keep up with it every day like we do the charts every day. I don't look at GitHub of freaking AVAX every day, but they have 3 different blockchains. Their transaction speed is definitely reasonable. So I don't know. I'm in the back of my head, I'm looking at AVAX going, yeah, let's look at some AVAX when it's down like a ton. I know it's already down a ton, but it's probably go down a ton more with everything else. Down 90%. Maybe we'll get down to 95%. Maybe it'll come all the way back down. I don't know. If it gets some good sponsorship from some other applications that want to use it, like a Matic with Ethereum, Pancake Swap, if it gets something that's really good on it and gets some good liquidity, I think it could hold up. We haven't had, from my understanding, and I don't remember any crazy news about AVAX. So I think it's a little bit underappreciated. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. But the charts rule for investments. All right, next up is Uniswap, also on the Ethereum ecosystem. Zoom back in here. This thing had a multiple inverted head and shoulders. We followed as it broke out. Really never did much. 672, undercut that. Undercut the whole darn thing. So now it's basically resetting what it's doing. And it's not worth doing anything right now. All right, Atom also had some promise. Also undercut. Also nothing to do with it at the moment. Got to wait for some better days. Chainlink. Chainlink here is just flopping around, going through motions. Chainlink's lost a ton of its momentum. Tried the 9710, which was the base for this whole thing, and oddly enough, not really giving up the lows. So this could be interesting in the future, as Chainlink is really paramount, probably the wrong word to use, but it's really important to a lot of the different chains that uses Chainlink. I mean, so it's still hanging around, better than most. Still just barely holding on the top 20 last time I checked, was why it's up here to begin with. 22. Yeah, so I go into 22 up to 25 if I feel like it sometimes, because we have a bunch of stuff in here that aren't coins, like Tether and USDC and BUSD, so I go a little bit into the 20s, which is why Chainlink and Litecoin are on here. But yeah, so I like the stability of Chainlink. Hopefully one day we'll get something really bullish on it and it can go on another big run. Big fan base for Chainlink, obviously. And then Litecoin, a little bit better on the BTC chart. I think, I do have it on BTC pairs in a little bit. So not too bad. Definitely flip-flopping around, definitely wide and loose, but holding pretty good. We didn't undercut. Bitcoin undercut, but Litecoin didn't undercut. So I'm a little perplexed by this action, and perplexed in a good way. Good volume stepped in here prior to all this going on, so it must be, I don't know what's going on. Maybe Charlie Lee's buying all his coins back in the 50s. Who knows? But yeah, interesting there. All right, so let's wrap up the top 20 USD. All right, so wrapping up the top 20 USD. Not a whole lot going on. Obviously, FTX is the story of the day. There's not a lot to buy here. Dogecoin seems to be in its own little mini rally because Elon Musk fanboys are jumping all over it. But for the most part, everything is just waiting to for the next leg to drop, which looks like it's imminent. BTC obviously worse for wear, living lower under the trend line is not good. So we're just kind of waiting for the next leg to go, unless we get some kind of a reversal. But we're going to have to breach this prior high at 21.4, I think, to get me excited at all, especially with this volume on the drop. Loopy says, I think Litecoin has good future because it seems to be a chosen payment method alongside BTC. Absolutely. Yeah, I like Litecoin. I like Dash. I think Dash is good. I think Litecoin is good. All those, BTC copies. Those early Bitcoin copies are good because they're simple and they just do their job. But, Litecoin hasn't returned any money to investors for quite some time, for years now. So, it's good. I like it. Is it investable though? That's the question. But we're all the way back down here. We got this, looks like a deep floor in the 20 to 40 level, if we ever get down there. But maybe one day it'll pop up to multiple thousands of dollars. I don't know. But sometimes the price lags with the value of the asset. You take a look at a Microsoft, for instance. Look at a long-term chart of Microsoft, talking months, you know. All right, there you go. Here you go. This is from something I did. 12 years of stagnant activity. Obviously, Microsoft made money during those 12 years, but the stock market didn't really feel like rewarding that. So, I mean, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, and that's about it. So maybe it'll go the Microsoft route. Maybe it'll be stagnant for a couple of more years and then start to go up. I don't know. All right, I only had one USD pair and 3 BTC pairs, and then we'll go back to Bitcoin. So bear with me. We got to talk about stocks and stuff too, so we'll do that probably as well. USD pairs. The only one I thought that was half interesting was KCS. It's actually looking like a great short. This is the KuCoin native token, and oddly enough, KuCoin, who a lot of people view as just kind of a garbage exchange, really hasn't been involved in too much garbage in terms of its operations and stuff like that. So could be a good buy at some point. Looks like it wants to go down, which implies it doesn't have a lot of sponsorship, but we don't see it. We see all this trading over here, and then you start going up. You see the volume aggregation tool. Look at the VA tool, really big over here. We don't see a big selling block. So whenever it bottoms out, if KuCoin is still viable, I think KuCoin is it could be a top 5 exchange at this point. It seems to just be slowly getting bigger and bigger. If it goes down dramatically, you could find a pretty good return. I mean, it goes down to 3, that'd be I hit 3.8, but if it goes to 3, going up to 30, that's a 10x. So, if you want to make a list of coins that have some type of a value to them, and whatever, it's crypto, so pick your valuation method, but just make a list of coins and see what they do, follow them, and buy a little bit and see how it goes. But anyway, right now it definitely has juice to the downside. Obviously, the exchanges are all getting hit, which leads me to a very professional segue into DYDX, which is my first BTC pair. And ask the guys, I really don't ever do professional segues, but that one was pretty good. DYDX, decentralized exchanges, getting a little bit of love. Look at the volume in DYDX. Bam, popping up here and trying to change finally. So DYDX came out, popped it for a minute, and just died, completely gave everything up. Probably make the trend line as such. And it's attempting to get over this high. I'm not sure it's going to do it. We shall see. We have a lot of volume up here. And it should be, this candle here, if you look at this candle, look at the volume. It's absolutely massive. If you view this as normal, it is 10 times, 20 times normal volume. And look what the candle did. It's only about 5 or 6 times bigger. So there's definitely some distribution up here that they're taking that opportunity to sell. But if it can stabilize out for a while, that'll give people some confidence to buy it back. So it may come back down and chop around a little bit, and then maybe try to go December 17th or something like that. But I think it was interesting that it popped out, and it makes sense if they can get decentralized exchanges figured out. Sweet. FTT. And my comment on this one is still a long way to go to 0. Look at that. All of that work. Jeez, how many days was that? Like 4 days. All of that work gone. Boom. So it looks a lot like Luna, but 0 is still lower. So still probably has some potential to go lower. FTT classic. That's awesome. There we go. So it looks like someone bought a little there, maybe some short covering, but these are all your stopping points if you're looking at shorting something like this. But in reality, we shouldn't overtake any high. This isn't a Luna type of a cascade. So no matter where you short it from, you got a potential for a 99% potential for a 99% return. So, all right. Next up is Litecoin, as I promised earlier. So Litecoin up here gaining value versus BTC lately and holding that value, which is definitely interesting. Some selling pressure here with high volume. That high volume, it's hidden selling pressure, but you can see the candle isn't very big, and a little bit of selling pressure here, but we're pretty stable. I'm not sure what the mechanism is for this again, but let's go back to full screen on the daily. Doing a lot of daily charts right now because 2-hour charts are just don't really matter too much. But a lot of resistance to get through. Hard to it's hard. This is the chart that's going to run, but it's interesting. It's definitely interesting that this is kind of bucking the whole market trend for the most part right now. But I will say this: every time we've given Litecoin a chance over the past year or two, it disappoints. It just disappoints. So, all right, that was all I had for BTC pairs and USD pairs. Let's take a look at some traditional stuff. Let's take a look at stocks and currencies. I'll start with the DXY. If you're not familiar with the DXY, it is kind of the dollar chart. So we've been following this trend. Again, we'll zoom in on the daily here. So we were following a potential basing structure, which would lead to a liftoff. But alas, we have reversed course pretty handily. Now, we don't get volume on this, but you can imagine that some pretty good volume stepping in on those candles. What's up, James? James, say hi to everybody.
Just saying, tournament water bottles next to your keys.
What?
I've filled up the tournament water bottle and it's that next to your keys. Just so you know.
Oh, for today?
Yeah.
For Ethan? Thank you. That was very thoughtful. All right, good job. Okay. That's sad. Damn. Kid's going to a karate tournament today. And his younger brother just filled up his water bottle for him, but he doesn't want his younger brother to go to the tournament. Not very good. Look at that. My kid walks in the room, 10 people leave the stream. That's funny. But yeah, so moving down lower here, I don't know. Looks like we could, I mean, I'm hopefully we've broken this and then we're just going to be at this level for a while. What are you shorting, Ben? You can short all kinds of stuff if you want to right now. Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the show. We talked about, have you been here, Ben? Or you just walk in? We talked about, Bitcoin potentially going down. You can take that opportunity to short if you want to, for sure. Short on bounces, though, that's usually the best time to short when things are bouncing. We're talking about this currency. Maybe we'll bounce back up into this, somewhere up here above the 110. That would be good place to maybe short a currency if you're interested in doing that. But the dollar weakening here is actually good. It's a good sign. Inflation back a little bit. Yeah, we shall see. Shorted FTT from 22. Yeah. Nice. Good job, man. You holding on to 0? Whoops, what the heck? Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, if you got it from 22, yeah, you can take 80% profit. 9 extra percent ain't gonna do you too much good. It's up to you. You bailed at 7? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Dude, if you got from 22 to 7, you just hold it down to 1 or 2, and then you're good, Yeah, good job, Ben. Excellent. Excellent job. But yeah, moved on from cryptos. We're going to talk about stocks and currencies for a minute. Then we'll move back to BTC and stuff like that. Anything else you're looking to shorten, Ben? You did a good job on that one. So yeah, so this dollar coming back down, which leads to the euro going up. And did the pound rise too? It did a little bit. Euro was a little bit lower, so it looks like it rallied better. So yeah, pretty nice stuff here for the euro. I mean, ideally, we found a bottom. We had high volume here. This one, we do have volume, so we talked about it. We mentioned the high volume here, and fortunately, we've had higher lows ever since, a cup, and that could be a pretty deep handle, but it still may qualify. Good volume right there. Monkey Tron was talking about that. And, yeah, rallying through. So pretty good stuff on a lot of these. Stocks had a really, really good Thursday. The NASDAQ was up 7%. Which is just a monster day for an index. Following through a little bit here on Friday. I mean, hopefully we bottomed out. I'll say this about the whole inflation thing, and we've talked about this over the past couple of months, is when they talk about inflation, I think a lot of people miss this point. When they discuss inflation, they discuss it on an annual basis. So, think of it this way. So think of it this way. So inflation's going up like this in a calendar year, right? So let's just view this as a calendar year. This is last year. Well, guess what? If inflation goes sideways all year long, they're going to be referencing inflation like this. So it's going to look like it's been rising dramatically, and it did, vis-a-vis a year ago, but it's essentially going to be flat. And I think we're reaching this part here where we're starting to get into this flat part, but we're over here. So our relation will be relatively neutral because prices do seem to have stabilized out. And what I've been saying is that once we reach a new normal, we'll be okay. And we may be doing that. I mean, I'm not the second highest daily pump in the S&P. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we may have bottomed out. So TQQQ buys across the board, ladies and gentlemen. So look at here, November, and then here we are, November. So we're doing that. We're already like a year out. If you view inflation, and I'm just going to say this. If you think inflation was caused by the influx of money last year, which it was, but if that's your theory, if you think that inflation was caused by that, it's an event. It's not a general trend. So it's going to rebase our price structure as a society at a higher level. And then that's it. If that makes sense. And then that's it. So COVID brought us up a little bit in terms of inflation with all of the supply chain problems. That was an issue. And then it was Biden's fault. That last stimulus wasn't needed. So everything prior to that, was it 4 trillion or whatever it was, everything prior to that I do believe was probably needed and was probably good stimulus. But this last part was probably not needed and caused our general inflation, which is causing, obviously collapse in asset prices. So, but if that's the case, then if we're done with that, then we're done with that. And then we're just going to find this new normal, and bread's going to be $7. And, I'm not sure. Gas will still fluctuate because it's market based, but all that stuff. Stuff is looking horribly low unless some more exchanges go under. I can't see other things falling apart. NFTs are over. DeFi seems to be almost forgotten as an investment. Yeah, some of the DeFi stuff is interesting. I saw an interest rate. I think it was for one of the bigger DeFi companies. Like, oh, get 1.5% on your staking Cardano or some shit like that. I was just laughing. Like, oh, great. We go from 100% to 50% to 12% to 1.5%. You're basically a bond. I'm just gonna go buy U.S. Treasury. So, I mean, I think DeFi is a good use case for crypto, but the whole hyped up DeFi, it's had its moment. I mean, it'll be back a little bit, but hopefully no one does anything, because most people lose money in pretty much everything investing in DeFi shit like that. So anyway, but yeah, when it comes to traditional markets, we may have bottomed out. Doesn't mean we're going to go right back to highs like we always have, but we could stay low for a while as we kind of, as earnings. Because here's the thing when it comes to stocks. Stocks have earnings, and earnings were going like this, and now they're going to go like this, and we have to get used to it, and then we'll go like this again. Once we get used to these earnings, so earnings were going up and going up and going up. Now they're going to go sideways and go sideways and go sideways. And, Facebook cut jobs, Twitter cut jobs, all these other places cut jobs. Now we're going to go sideways. Once that new normal, so we've hit new normal with inflation. Now we're going to hit new normal with earnings. Once that hits, we're going back up again. It's just a cycle. It's legitimately just a cycle. Unless some other really weird shoe drops. We've been discussing the second shoe to drop this whole time. We don't really have it. It hasn't come along. And so I think that, if we live lower, even if we pop higher, we're probably not going to breach this high for a while. But once we do, it'll feel like the old days, and people won't be able to believe it. But this is when I think you could start buying after Thursday, Friday. I definitely made some purchases Thursday, Friday. Could be the bottom even before a recession is officially announced. Yeah, absolutely. So the markets are forward looking, right? The markets look forward. The markets don't. If you chart S&P returns and recessions, We should be able to get a chart on it. See if we got a chart. Maybe, hopefully, those are charts. And I don't know this for a fact. I just know that stock markets don't always follow all the recessions. So they usually bottom before the recession ends. Is usually what happens because they look at. So when you're looking at institutional investors, which are the people that run the markets, they get all the data before you and I do, and especially before the news gets it. So Goldman Sachs, they'll pull all the data that the Fed gets. You don't think they don't have the same data, and so they'll start buying the second they see things perk back up. So it looks like we're not getting charts, but let's see what we get here. Gosh, this website is garbage. All right, Motley Fool, go away. I can see you're trying to pump me full of ads or something. Jeez, it won't even close. Am I live still? Looks like I'm live. What's my computer? Let me pull up my memory real quick and see what's gobbling stuff up. Yeah, so go there, stupid. Wow, I'm going to end that task. I don't know what it's doing, but it's 3.5 gigs. Oh, dang, I just killed my whole Firefox. That's funny. I didn't know it was all of Firefox I was murdering. That's hilarious. Oh, my chat gone. Hopefully I'll get it back. You guys are gone. I'm by myself. Just like my normal everyday life. I'm kidding. Jeez. I got too much Firefox happening, apparently. Wouldn't happen to Brave. Oh, come on, Brian. It would happen to Brave. It would happen to all of them. I use so much. I have so many browser windows open. Until crypto finds a way to create projects that generate actual revenue, there's no reason to hold it or buy it, then speculate token trading, unfortunately. Well, you look to Ethereum for that. I mean, in reality, Ethereum is kind of the one that shows the way when it comes to those things, creating value and such. Yeah, it's project. I mean, you can try to value it in certain way, but yeah, I don't know what's going to be the money making proposition for crypto though. It's crypto is. I think crypto is like a pre-teenager. Like the 9 to 13, 10 to 13 range, or 10 to 12 range, 9 to 12 range. That's where I think crypto is. So, yeah. What was I talking about before my whole... Oh, yeah, we were going to look into S&P and recessions. Yardeni was shaded as recessions. Here's what I want. What is this? Yardeni Research. Oh, this is recent. There we go. So, bear market scale ratio. What am I looking at here? 21. S&P index. Put call ratio. This would be interesting to look at. Shoot you guys this link in case you guys are interested in it at all. What does this say? Recessions, bear markets. Okay, so these are recessions. These are bear markets. So this is what we want to look at here. Let's zoom in. So let's go with the last one. So you can see here, this one bottomed a little bit before the recession ended. This one continued going down. That was 2001. Yeah, that was a whole different type of a ball game. The shortest recession in history, right there. And then here you bottom right in the middle in 89. Here you bottom out. So yeah, the market started going up before the end of the recession. It, for the most part, it generally tends to sell into it and then continues selling and then bounces before. It's that data edge of the institutions. You see right there, it bounces before. Here it bounces early in the 50s. Here it bounced early. Here it didn't matter at all. It went straight up. 29, it finally bounced early. This one looks like it bounced right on the end. So I think that's yeah, that's for the most part. I mean, we haven't hit any recession yet, but um yeah, we will bounce early. That's generally what happens. And the bottom and the bounce are two different effects, obviously. So, oh, I bet your TradingView probably has a thing for recessions, possibly recession indicator. Haha. All right, I'm not going to dig into that. I don't need a secondary indicator. I was hoping it would shade the main thing. Crypto definitely not going anywhere. It's not for anything. If not for anything other than greed, all the money people made previous bull runs, it's human nature. They'll want to do that again. That's definitely a factor, Brian. That's definitely a factor. But if you're greedy, which we all are a little bit greedy, you have to be wise about it and not just take every single opportunity. You want to take the good ones. What's your thoughts on the FTX situation? Lots of bad blood in the game. Would you say this situation caused the crypto market to rally as it did, as everything was inflated or borrowed over leveraged money? When you say cause a situation to rally as it did, are you referring to the FTX situation? Because those are two different situations. This situation didn't cause the market to rally. No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, the markets just kind of do what they do in their own little bubbles, if you will. On the whole FTX situation right now, I don't have a lot of facts on it, to be honest with you, Elias. I haven't looked that deeply into it. But from what I understand, I don't have all the facts. I know they filed bankruptcy. Jeez, that was fast. That was really fast, the whole bankruptcy thing. But I don't think the previous bull run had anything to do with FTX. Not at all. I mean, could it have inflated it? Obviously, it did. Everything. Oh, are you? Oh, you're talking about. What up, Rob? What's up, Rob? Oh, well, the $9 trillion FTX didn't. Did they add $9 trillion or something? I'm very confused by that. The $9 trillion, yeah, that's the inflation effect. If inflation effect caused by BTC, by FTX, I don't know, maybe a little bit. Maybe we didn't get that second top, possibly, if you want to start throwing scenarios out there. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I mean, FTX seemed to be a really solid institution. If you were to say, a week ago, the bedrock of crypto, you got Binance, probably FTX, Coinbase right in there. I mean, it's just a shock to the whole industry. Sam was supposed to be the next coming of leadership in crypto. He was supposed to bring stocks. He was supposed to do all that stuff. All that stuff. But now I probably set us back 5 years, I would say, to being what crypto is going to be. I think cryptocurrency at its core, probably in 10, 15, 20 years, we'll be trading global assets on cryptocurrency exchanges, which until about a week ago I thought would be FTX leading the charge. Maybe Binance finally tries to do it. But it seems like they've just kind of sat in their niche making money rather than trying to move us forward in a dramatic fashion, which it looks like FTX was trying to do. So someone else is going to have to run with that torch. And I don't know. I don't like it. It's not a good thing for obvious reasons. It's bad for numerous reasons. Speaking of the Fed on the previous runs, Tether's growth partially fueled the growth of the last run too. I mean, yeah, you can get into a conversation with Tether, but there's an iron curtain around Tether that is on this side of the iron curtain is just speculation. So in a perfect world, whenever let's go to Tether market cap. In a perfect world, whenever Tether is printed, someone gave Tether $1. That's the whole theory. So let's go to market cap here. And let's get out of the 1 minute chart. So in theory, someone gave Tether $80 billion to go into the crypto markets. And they recently withdrew $12 billion or $20 billion, whatever the case may be. That's the ideal scenario. We don't know if it is true or not. You have no freaking idea. So, I mean, the fact they won't give audits leads to obviously a bit of an issue, but it is what it is. I mean, we can speculate, but it's not going to give you an edge on the market. So, it's a hypothetical at best. At best. Sold to Dev Sunny and Sabri, lied and inflated Sol's TVL by 70. Yeah, you know what? When you start giving kids, and a lot of these developers are kids, let's just be honest. When you start giving kids billions of dollars, hundreds of millions, they're gonna they're going to take advantage, especially in an unregulated environment. So I don't know how you regulate an international space in this fashion. It's coming at some point. I mean, you already see Binance. You can't trade it unless you're in like 6 countries now. Only if you're in Africa and the Middle East can you trade on Binance. Apparently, it's a joke, but like I can't trade on Binance in the U.S. They won't let me do that. In terms of Tether being a ticking time bomb, I'll just say this: Tether survived 2017, survived 2020, so far surviving 2022 just fine. Either it's the best run fraud of all time, or it's fine, or it's just fraudy enough to be fine. I don't know. Like I said, there's an iron curtain that we can't see past, and it's all speculation. And who gives a shit? What I want to know, if you're talking about Tether, you tell me when it's going to go down so we can do something about it. That's about it. Other than that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't pertain to us, to be quite frank with you. So anyway, all right, let's get back to it and wrap up around here, guys. I'm going to bounce. We talked about the dollar. Let's go through some stocks and Tesla stuff. We talked a little bit. Let's go a little bit more on stocks and Tesla and stuff like that. Yeah, honor billions of withdrawals, Brian. So, what are you gonna do? it's if it is a Ponzi scheme, which would be the only thing it could be. If it is a Ponzi scheme, yes, it may fail at some point, and then that'll be the next thing. So, but yeah, so going back to stocks a little bit, which we kind of talked, we've been talking about for the past 10 minutes or so. Yeah, so pretty good days here overall. Let's take a look at some individual stocks. Apple apparently has, which I didn't realize, someone said that they are worth more than some of these other companies combined, which I think is crazy. So 2.423 for Apple, Microsoft 1.8, Google, Amazon, and it's worth more than Google and Amazon put together. Look at that. That's crazy. That is crazy. So, but Apple does make the most money out of any company in the world. So we shall see. We'll see about Tesla in the next 5 years, but Apple's doing a super job and holding up pretty good. Has held up well. Microsoft definitely worse, but look at that pop up coming up dramatically off of lows. Looks like we got a dividend coming out soon. Tesla. Big green volume, not up as much as most, but I mean, Tesla's obviously going to have it's holding this bottom. It's holding it, so I don't know. Yeah, it's holding down there really nicely. Amazon, so that's really good. Amazon undercut the $100 level, trying to bounce back. We'll see if it acts as resistance, but it's had a really good couple of days. We'll see if Monday just sees us gap up just beyond belief. Square, whatever. ExxonMobil. Broke out of a cup and handle base. It's been going because of oil. Oil prices are holding pretty high. Gold coming back. This is interesting. We haven't seen gold in a few days. Gold with a nice gap right there. That's good for gold bugs. Silver bugs are happy right there. My buddy Backblaze. I like this company, but you can't buy this at all. AMD. I am really thinking about an AMD trade. I'm really I tried an AMD trade here. It didn't work out, but I'm thinking about this. This is one of my patented long-term turnaround plays right here. It's exactly what this is. And I looked at it a little bit. I need to look at it a little bit more. But I'm thinking AMD, if if everything gets stabilized out here, I don't know. I'm thinking about AMD really dramatically. AMD has really grown up as a business. If you go here and you look at Intel, or actually just look at AMD itself in terms of market capitalization, 170 billion, a lot of room to go. You look at Nvidia, like it's already 405 billion for Nvidia. It can go up 400% before it catches Nvidia, and it's losing market share to Intel. Um, or AMD's gaining market share against Intel. It's gaining some against Nvidia, although Nvidia is still king in graphics. But I mean, if you look at Intel, I think it passed Intel on market cap. Intel's just been, yeah, it's almost there, 126 billion. So, and Intel was a beast. Like going back months. So it was up double. It was up double. So 250 billion for Intel. And so that would give a double for AMD over here, which would give 126% potential return just on capital. So I mean, you're looking at some pretty good returns here. Rob's saying AMD a giant bull flag. So this is my long-term turnaround play. Basically, is what this is. So I'll give it away real quick. I'll give away my long-term turnaround play. You look for a stock in gigantic uptrends that is going down at a low clip. In other words, it's not doing this. You want a kind of a slow decline, almost a 45-degree angle. It's kind of a nice slow decline, at least 9 months. And it has to be a winner. It has to be a leading company. Can't have just some bullshit stock that no one's ever heard of. And then they usually go on for really, really good rallies. Here's another one. Another kind of long-term turnaround play right there. Go on for some really phenomenal rallies. This one's a little aggressive, but I think it works. You got another one kind of over here, but this is in a huge downtrend, so not quite the same thing. This would be one of the long. They're not. You don't find them all the time, but once the rally comes back into it, I mean, look at that. Bam, just blows right through it. But it has to be this kind of low. This one's better because it's lower and slower. Like it kind of looks like Apple a little bit, right? Apple a little bit low and slow. It went down a little deeper, but it's gone, 314 days. It'll probably come back at some point, and whenever it breaks out, boom, it'll just rock it up. Microsoft has a pretty extreme angle on it. I'm not happy with the Microsoft angle, so I don't think that really qualifies. And Tesla's doing its own. It's on its own path. Amazon also on its own path. Any usage for fibs in my reversal level? So I don't look for if you're talking about this particular strategy, Brian, I don't look at reversal levels in that fashion. I look for the breakout. I'm looking for this. I don't buy down here. I will buy here. That's what I do because I want the expansion up, and that's what you get here. Expansion, cup and handle, small cup and handle, and then finally another rally, and then I mean you could pie method the crap out of this and sell up here and be gangbusters. So, but that's the rally that I want, and I do this with options. If you want to come, I mean, if you want to look at fibs, the problem that I have with fibs is they're too subjective. They're very, very, very subjective. Where do I go from this low? Do I go from this low? Do I go from the gap here? Where do I buy? It's just I don't have a good rule set, so I don't particularly use them. I just use price action. And I try to ascertain is there buying and selling pressure. So I mean, if you look at it, you look at this volume stepping in here. This could, I'm gonna see if it's similar to here. So here you got nice gap, two good volumes here on earning. You got a little flag, and it starts to go up, and volume touches average frequently. So you have nice clean days on the way up. Yeah, really good over there. A little more feverish over here, but I really like it. I really like AMD. NVIDIA doing similar things, but obviously has a little ways to go. I could try to cheat and do that, but that's not a thing. So, but I think AMD's on the upswing. NVIDIA's probably not quite as much on the upswing. So that's that. BYDDF is BYD in China, huge electric vehicle manufacturer, but obviously with Xi Jinping deciding to become the dictator of China for the foreseeable future, no one's investing in these companies, these Chinese companies right now. But this is going down less than most of the Chinese companies because it is a growth powerhouse. It will be growing faster than Tesla for the foreseeable future, next several years, unless Tesla can outperform a Chinese company, which is unlikely. We have labor laws. So BYD a good one, but Tesla's at a good place too. I think it's in a growth lull right now, like it was prior to its major run up over here. We were in a growth lull, and over here, no one believed they can do it. Now we've been ramping up, and they've been growing at this pace. They're going to have to get Berlin, fully up to scale, and then they're going to have to do the Cybertruck, and that'll lead the next rally, and then they'll probably pause that, and then maybe they'll do Optimus with their $25,000 vehicle, and that'll lead the next rally. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but that's generally how these go. And so you can see we've been sideways here really since 2020, and but we're at a pretty low level, and we've held this support. And as long as we hold this support, then I think we'll be good to go. On Tesla, obviously, it's not going anywhere. So, all right, let's wrap it up, guys. All right, so wrapping up the show today, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to shout them out. Let's move back to crypto, move back to BTC. And, I think the fact of the matter, obviously, the whole FTX thing is really driving the market right now. We don't know what's going to come this weekend. And as of Monday, some more shoes are probably going to drop on that, which could take the market lower. Mike was looking for a pretty quick low, and I can't disagree with it too much. If the traditional markets are shoring themselves up, maybe we'll find a low here too. Maybe we'll find a low, but at the same time, we have to see what is in those bags that FTX had, and it could take a couple of weeks. Could take a couple of weeks. We saw with the 2018 low, took a while for that low to form definitively. And so as we go lower, during the power hours, that's what we'll be looking at is, are we seeing declining selling pressure if and as we go lower? And then how is that all, looking in and wrapping into the big picture of the price action? And if it's a good time to potentially take on some long-term positions. But if we go down very quick, that's obviously going to be a capitulation event. And we kind of know how to handle those. We talked about that 12-22 video earlier. If you guys want to watch that, that's how you can handle a capitulation. If you're interested, I also have a little course on that, which I don't publicly offer anymore. Do you think the button will be in before 2023? Too hard to know. A little bit of both. I mean, if it's going to happen, Mike's really good. Mike says it could happen quick. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt it could happen fast. People get scared. They tend to do things quickly rather than slowly. So in terms of, sub 10K, I mean, we have measured moves right into 10K. So, and like I said earlier, when you get sub 12,000, if we have a large downtrends, you get sub 12,000, the only thing you can do is look at price action, and it's difficult to ascertain. But again, that 1222 video, you can see the whole drop, the whole damn thing, and the bottom and the subsequent bounce back, and me screaming a little girl. So you got all kinds of things to watch in that video. But if you want to buy it, that's an educational video right there for you guys to watch, because that's real time. Do bear whales target Sailor's liquidation level? Oh, what's his liquidation level? Is it like 12,000 or something, or is it like 7,000? I forget. I don't know. Maybe nobody knows. But anyway, we do appear to be on the way down. Again, we've started this next leg. We're consolidating over the weekend. If it's anything like 2018, we should drop on Monday. And that was about a 15% drop on Monday. Excuse me. So, yeah, we'll see. 10K would be 85%. And I think that's been what it's been for a while. So I'll see if Brian finds it, and then I'll bounce. I don't want to bounce while Brian's looking up something for the chat, so that's kind of rude. Just let me know when you're done, Brian, and then we'll go. But yeah, I think stock interesting point. You know, we could go back and try to find the lows at some point in time. So not worth it, Brian. All right, cool, man. Just trying to be respectful. All right, everybody. Well, have a good day. This is Public Power Hour. If you're interested, go to real-crypto.com. Blah 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 blah. Go to services, and you'll find about the Power Hour right here. Daily newsletter. Weekly live stream. I don't do a daily live stream anymore. I do a weekly live stream on Saturdays. We do have the alert system still. Slack communities. We got our custom indicators. Quick format daily videos. Follow through day system, which is still in a correction. When was the last time we had a trend in our follow through day system? So we moved into a correction on September 13th. So it's been a while. It's been about 2 months. 2 months of overt correction vis-a-vis the follow-through day system. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Stay safe out there. I'll see some of you tomorrow, and the rest of you some other time. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Bye.